Hello and welcome to Video Revealed. I'm Colin Smith and I want you to hear the most realistic computer-generated voices I've ever heard. And you can try them out for free. This is Murf Voices. Okay, so before we go in and start showing you how I created these voices, I want to play back 6 of these voices that I've generated in Murf Studio in context with music and picture so that you can hear how a real project works. Because if you just listen to a voice on its own, you could be a little bit critical. Let's have a look at the piece that I've put together.
We are born into this world with a clean slate. No preconceived notions, just a will to survive and receive the comfort we've been used to for 9 months. Each day we are bombarded with something new. A new shape, a new sound, a new taste. Each experience builds who we will be.
The love that we're lucky enough to receive will make us safe and give us power. It will join the billions of synapses in our brains that are constantly reaching out for new information. We'll grow to know that love comes from many places. If we pay attention, we'll find that love becomes a mirror for how much we give and how much we're open to receive.
All the beings on the planet have their own microcosms of love, each one balancing their needs and expectations, hoping the outcome will lead to a better and happy life. Although we'd like to think happiness is a guarantee, we soon realize it is much more complex. External forces can disrupt that happiness, but it doesn't mean it can demolish it.
If you give your love and it is not accepted, that does not diminish its power. It's still intact when it arrives, regardless if it's rebuffed. It's these types of social interactions that guide us to what is worth pursuing or not. It's too easy to get wrapped up in a belief that the acceptance of your love is a reflection of yourself.
If one is fortunate to live a long and happy life, it most likely will be filled with love. And that love will be intertwined with thousands of memories. The memories run hand in hand with that person's love history, who they loved, who loved them, and how many times they've made a difference.
The most incredible thought is that there is almost limitless potential to do good. The time we have on this planet, although very brief, is a perfect canvas for us to paint a picture of who we are.
All right, 2 specific spots I want to point out. Listen to this.
It's too easy to get wrapped up in a belief that the acceptance of your love is a reflection of yourself.
The pace is perfect. I didn't change anything. I just typed in the words and it's delivered in such a beautiful cadence. One other spot. I love this.
The memories run hand in hand with that person's love history.
Hand in hand. I mean, that is so realistic. It's just incredible. Look, I get asked by companies to show stuff on Video Revealed all the time. And I usually say no because I don't think it will benefit you or me. And then, so when Murf reached out to me, I thought, okay, here's another one of these. Let me listen to it. Whoa, no. This is different. All right. So let's go into Murf Studio and start showing you how you can create this yourself. So here's Murf.ai where you can go and get signed up. There's lots of terrific information and there's lots of examples in here too. You can see the voices, hear the voices. I mean, listen to this one.
Unwrap the rumpled golden cover to reveal a chocolatey treasure that combines silky smooth chocolate cream, crisp, delicate wafers.
And this one.
One more sounds like nothing, but it's the hardest thing to do.
Like those are so far from computer-generated voices. So let's go into the studio. So once you sign up, you come into the studio, and here's the One World one that we've just been listening to, where I have a different voice on every one of these blocks. I'm going to show you how to start with one of these first. So let's create a project. When you start up Murf Studio, there's no projects to create one. You just click on it and give it a name. And at this point, it creates a block. A block can contain multiple sentences. By default, in these settings, it will split a block into subblocks or sentences. Subblocks are easier for you to change some of the settings, like when we get into voices, things like the emphasis. So I'm going to choose some text that I have here, so I don't have to type that out. And once you paste that text in, you need to generate it. That's what this button is here. You'll notice that you'll get a waveform down at the bottom. This is like our timeline in Premiere Pro. As you add in voices, they'll show up. Now you can add in music and you can add in pictures, and you can have audio ducking in here. There's social media export directly out of Murf Studios. So if you want, you don't even have to use Premiere Pro for a quick and easy project that you want to get out. So let's generate this voice. And right now I'm using Clint, which is a fantastic voice. Once this is generated, it's ready.
Now you have the perfect solution to get the word out about your product or services.
I mean, yeah, that's amazing. So you could change things like this, the pitch. When you click on here, you change the pitch. You can change the speed, the volume, the emphasis. So I could emphasize a certain word. Let's do solution. So if you think of these kind of like keyframes in Premiere Pro, let's take solutions up, save that, and I have to regenerate this. Now this is subtle, so you have to listen close.
Now you have the perfect solution to get the word out about your product or services.
And if you wanted to take that emphasis back, you could reset that, you could bring this down. You could add as many of these as you want. I'm just going to reset that and save, and then I would have to regenerate that. Now let me change this to Ava. Now when I click to select a voice, here are all my voices. By default, I'm looking just at English, US, and Canada. So if I go to all, they'll show up. The featured voices are here, and some of the best I've already listened to, like Terrell and Clint and Samantha. And to listen to a voice, you can just click on the speaker.
Hello there. I'm Kathy, and I happen to be one of the versatile voices in Murf Studio.
Change. It's the only constant.
And if we go a little further down, we can get to English UK. So now we're going to have an accent.
Hello, I'm Edward.
Well, it's
I
an
come
accent for
from the
me.
UK. My style is simple and conversational.
And we actually they have Indian with English. So this is English with Indian, and I like Kushal.
Hello, this is Kushal, one of the native Indian voices in Murf Studio. I am known for being relatable to my audience and
then we get to kids.
I can narrate children's books or convey holiday wishes.
So these voices are made from human beings. They record 1 or 2 hours of all these different speaking styles and then use AI to create these voices. So this isn't just an adult with the pitch lower. These are real children. And then we have some French. Let's try Victor.
Salut, c'est Victor. Je suis l'une des voix françaises professionnelles du studio Murf Voice. Ma voix est connue pour sa fluidité et sa puissance.
And French Canadian, German, Spanish. Let's try a female young adult.
Hola, soy Raquel. Una voz en español que inspira confianza, conocida por ser
I'm not going to play all of them, but there's Italian, Portuguese, Arabic, Chinese Simplified, Chinese Cantonese, Chinese Taiwanese, Russian, Dutch, Hindi, Indonesian, Korean, Romanian, Norwegian, Turkish, Danish, Tamil, and Finnish. So I'm going to go back up to my voices because I want to show you something special with Ava. I'll regenerate that. And now let's play Ava.
Now you have the perfect solution to get the word out about your product or services.
Now she has a special feature here. Not all the voices have this. You're able to change how she's speaking. So that's just general. Let's go all the way to whispering. It's going to generate a completely new sound, but it's still Ava.
Now you have the perfect solution to get the word out about your product or services.
Yeah. Wow. The amount of control you have is incredible. So like I showed you, pitch, speed, volume. So you can add in pauses, whether short or very long, or custom pauses, and then individual pronunciation. I'll show you that in another section where you can set the individual pronunciation for a word. You can put in an alternate pronunciation. You can add in phonemes, and it's project level. So there's lots of sharing in here. You can import these. So if you're working with a team, and let's say you're working with specialized names, product names, pharmaceutical names, scientific names that Murf is not getting correct, instead of every single person on the team correcting that, one person corrects it and they can share it on the team. All right, let's go back to the studio and go to my other project. This is my fake vacation company, and I created a fake name, Diolacra, and Murf did not pronounce that correctly. So in the pronunciation, I wrote it phonetically, Diolacra, because it got it incorrect.
Diolacra Vacations.
So I was able to create this made-up name and have it pronounce it perfectly. Now, in the settings, I want to show you that when you're changing something, by default, it's set to block. And that's what you want most of the times is you're working on individual blocks like I had in my other project where every block is a different person. But in this example, I have one person speaking each one of the blocks, the whole project. So when I choose project and then go back and change this, once I pick any of these locations where the text is, then I can choose a completely different person. So let me choose Marcus. It's going to warn me that this is a project level. And you'll see that I need to generate each one of these. But over on the right, I can click Build the Timeline, quick render. It's going to render this and render this with a lower preview. And I could play this back.
There's always a place, somewhere new, or somewhere familiar, with someone new, or someone familiar.
Now, the other thing that I found too is this: you'll need to auto size sometimes, and that's because the rate at some of these voices speak make longer or shorter audio files. So when I change my whole project to a completely different person, I need to change the auto size, and you'll get warned sometimes by Murf Studio if you need to do that. Okay, let's go back to the studio and go to the one that you saw where each one of these was a different voice.
We are born into this world with a clean slate.
The love that
No
we're lucky
preconceived
enough
notions.
to receive will make us safe and...
So
all the beings on the planet have their own microcosms of...
So once I had all of these, I exported this out. And then I have a choice of just the video, because remember, you can import in images, video, music. voice and music, a script. So I could export a script or I can import a script, and it supports text or doc files, Word files, and things like that. I could split it up. I could have it as a single file, split by blocks, split by sub-blocks. So it could go in and take every sentence out into a separate audio file. I just did it as a single file. You can export as an MP3, which is more compressed. I would choose WAV. FLAC is an open source, again, with no compression, completely lossless. You can set the quality here all the way up to high, 48K 16-bit, and either mono or stereo. Now, before I show you this output in Premiere Pro, there's a few more things I want to show you in Murf Studio. So again, you can import the videos and they would show up here. Again, we can pick any of the voices that we have. You can add a soundtrack, either upload it. There's a gallery, import audio, and the gallery comes up over here. You can pick things like e-learning, and it finds a bunch of specific ones for you. And we can close that up. There's also an AI changer where you can upload a voice and convert to AI. This is fantastic when you don't have professional quality recording. You're sitting there in your office with your phone and you think, well, how can I record this? Oh, I know. Record your voice on a phone, any program that allows you to record and export out an MP3. And now your office doesn't have good sound. Maybe you don't like the sound of your own voice. You import this here, you convert it to AI, and all of the pacing that you have and all of the words get converted to a new AI voice. There's the scripts, like I showed you, uploading the scripts. And there's an overall loudness setting and a volume setting. So the volume setting for an individual block, like we see here, that controls the block. If we go into our settings, the loudness changes the whole project. So you could set auto ducking in here on how the music is playing and how the voice is playing back. So back in Premiere Pro, I imported the audio file that came out of Murf Studios.
Preconceived notions, just a will to experience builds who we will be.
Brains that are constant.
Planet have their own.
That does not diminish its power.
Intertwined with
There is almost limitless potential to do good.
Now you can notice big fluctuations in the volume. If I had paid attention in Murf Studio, I have the ability to change the overall volume before I export out a file so they were more even. As you can see here in Premiere Pro, I've raised and lowered the gain of each one of those files just to make them a little bit more even. And I did put the multiband compressor set to broadcast on the audio track here just to give them a little bit more power. And then I labeled each one of them so I could remember which one of the voices I was working with. So there you go. That's Murf Voices. Go to Murf.ai. Try it out for free yourself. It's great for individuals, great for teams. There's a one-off price if you just wanted one project that you wanted to export out, because on the free account, you have to listen on the web. You can't export something out. But there's great options there, and there's amazing enterprise options for teams. Like I said, I get approached all the time by companies asking for me to promote their stuff, and I don't really see a lot of value in it. But Murf Voices is freaking amazing. Try it out yourself. I'm sure it'll blow you away. Hey, if you're new to Video Revealed and you found this informative, take a moment and subscribe. Till next time, I'm Colin Smith, and it's my job to really listen closely and pay attention to who comes talking to me so that when I find a gem like this, I'll let you know so you can get the benefits too.